What's your message to the players today as you break this up?
I think we've had a really good offseason. So many of our players were here well before the offseason program started working out, and their participation and the effort level really throughout the offseason program has been outstanding. I think we've laid a really good foundation for our team. We've given ourselves a chance, really just because of the approach that our players have taken. Great leadership among guys who have been around here and really understand how we do things, and they really set the pace and set the tone for everybody. So let's finish strong today. Players will kind of take it a little bit easy next week and then get back to some rigorous training leading up to training camp. And just take care of yourself and make sure you're doing everything you can to put yourself in the best position to be your best when we start up in camp in Oxnard.
You see some teams when they get to this point, they have 1 or 2 days left, they just cancel and do some team bonding exercise. How come you don't do those things? Is it just you're so limited with your time that you have?
Yeah, our team bonding thing was really last week, the Cowboys U thing. We took our 10th OTA day to do that. We like the structure of 3 practices a week throughout the off-season program, so we just take that last one. We've done that for a number of years, and I've been on teams that have done a lot of different team bonding things, and those are fantastic. The one that we've settled on is Cowboys U. We feel like it can be a really good thing for our guys to get closer together, develop that camaraderie, but also do it in a way where it's competitive, football related, and hopefully helping some kids out. So that's really what we did last week, and we wanted to get 3 good practices in this week and try to finish strong today.
Yesterday, obviously you set up camp to be competitive and spirited. Yesterday, Dak Prescott definitely got to lose something, whatever it was. Can you just talk about that and your quarterback getting involved and that sort of thing, and how this competition has manifested itself?
Yeah, each and every day we want to come in here and work hard to be our best as players, coaches, and staff members, and we want to compete. And so we try to create competitive environments for our guys. It's competitive when you have 90 guys on your team and you're going to go down to 53. That's competitive. And then you try to get out into situations in practice where you compete. This time of year you can't do one-on-ones, but you can do other competitive situations. Did a lot of situational work throughout the off season, do a lot this week, and sometimes that competition brings out the best in each other, and guys burr up, and it gets a little contentious, it gets a little edgy. All that stuff's good for your team.
The quarterback being a part of that,
he's just a natural competitor. He's just one of those guys from day one who's stepped in and competed, with all the other guys, whether it's in practice, in the off-season program, and certainly on Sundays. So that's probably line 1 for him. He's got great leadership skills, but he loves to play and competes as hard and as well as anybody we've been around.
How has Kellen Moore grasped this larger role, and what do you expect him to do going forward to kind of keep moving in that direction?
Kellen's done a great job. He really has. He's been with us for a few years now, and I think he has a good feel for how we want to do things. And last year I thought he did a really good job with our quarterbacks in the quarterback coach role, and now he's in the coordinator role. And something we talked about right from the outset is the importance of making it a collaborative process. He's not doing it by himself. He's got a lot of really good veteran coaches on that offensive side of the ball with him, and I think he's just done a really good job leading that group and injecting some new ideas, refining some old ideas, again, making it collaborative to build what this offense is going to be all about. And I think he's done a really good job. I think he's gotten better and better each and every day in this role, and he's got really good command of football, really good command of the offensive scheme, and I think that reflects in his coaching style. And I think everybody's responded well to that.
The new offensive coordinator, should we expect the offense to look that much different, Jason, than it did the last couple of years, or just minor tweaks and things like that?
I think you're always trying to evolve your offense from year to year. If you have the same group of guys, you want to grow and you want to evolve. You want to keep doing things you're good at, maybe doing those things a different way. You let some things fall away year after year. You study trends in the league. You try to infuse some of those into your offense. You're always trying to make sure that you're using your talent, putting guys in a position where they can be successful, minimizing some of the weaknesses that you might have. So that's a process you go through in all phases of your team. So hopefully we'll just continue to grow and evolve. Excited about the staff we've put together and how our players have responded to it.
What do you think will be foremost on your mind when you all get to California in 6 weeks?
I think the process that we go through really throughout the off season and really every day through training camp and throughout the season, you're just trying to build a team. And, I think we've done a good job of that. We've laid a good foundation. Again, a credit to our coaches, a credit to the leaders on our team for setting the pace on that. And we'll continue to try to do the same thing out there and, build on the foundation that we've laid. A big part of training camp is evaluating players. There's a lot of players competing for these spots. You want to make sure you give everybody an opportunity to show what they're all about, show if they belong. So that's a big part of training camp. But more than anything else, it's building a football team. Building a football team that you're proud of, one that can sustain a 17-week season that's coming up. So you have to build mental toughness and physical toughness and skill levels in all three phases of your team, and that's really what you try to do. And once we get out there, it's just a real narrow focus on each day, trying to get better each and every day and trying to instill that mentality into the team.
When you think back to Tony's evolution as a quarterback, what are some of the key memories that stand out as him making steps or progressing clearly?
Oh, I think like with any player at any position, the more you play, if you go about it the right way, you're going to grow. And Tony certainly did that. When I got here, he had played 10 games in the NFL as a quarterback. And so he still was very much of a young player. And, he would be the first to tell you that he grew in so many different ways, and most of that was a result of just playing and being in different experiences, understanding what we were doing offensively, understanding what defenses were trying to do, how the offense overlays on the defense, handling game situations, handling success within a game, handling adversity within a game, the mentality that you need to have at that position, being able to execute at critical moments. I think the more you play, if you go about it the right way at that position, you're going to get better and better at all of those things. And I think his career is a reflection of that. Really competitive guy, wanted to be great, wanted our team to be great, went about it the right way, and I think that reflected in how he grew over the course of his career.
Of the guys that we've not seen here and much in the offseason, are Byron and DeMarcus the only guys when you get to Oxnard do you think won't be ready at the start of camp?
I don't want to say that definitively. There are a number of guys who have been out coming back from surgeries. We feel good about the timetable of all of those guys. Each of them has just handled their rehabs the right way, so they're all on schedule, if not ahead of schedule. I think that's probably accurate. We'll have some more definitive conversations with our medical staff here in the next couple of days as we break to talk more about the exact timetable that they're on, and we'll get more updates as we go through these next 4 or 5 weeks. But again, everybody's on schedule. Feel good about where they are coming back.
Donovan Alumba has had a big mini camp with 2 consecutive interceptions. What growth have you seen from him in the secondary?
Again, I think it's the same thing we're talking about with Tony. Just a guy, the more he plays, the better he gets. And I think, physically he's gotten stronger. That's helped him. He was kind of a real thin guy when he first came in here. There was a lot of potential there, but sometimes his play strength wasn't what it needed to be. So he's worked very hard in the weight room to get stronger. I think you're seeing that in his play. And he's just one of those guys who's got a little savviness about him, sees the ball a lot, is around the ball a lot, can make plays on the ball, and made a number of plays here in the OTAs and in minicamp, and he's really showed up well the last week or so.
When you guys break, do you tell the players, hey, people are watching, let's not do anything stupid here? Do you have that message, or at this point do you feel like they kind of all know it?
Oh, I think you're always coaching the players on the field and off the field. And I just think you're always trying to instill that in guys and reminding everybody how valuable this opportunity is for all of us. And so we certainly talk about what's going to happen here the next few weeks and the challenges you want to put in front of them as they get ready for training camp, both what they're doing on the field and off.
I think they get that, like the younger guys, you're 22, 23, the idea that eyes are on them and this opportunity is rare.
Yeah, we have really good guys on our team, and we're very intentional in how we put our team together. We want the guys who are the right kind of guys. Having said that, everyone's a human being, and people make mistakes. So you just want to make sure you appreciate the opportunity you have, and you take advantage of it each and every day, and by the things you do and the sacrifices you have to make.
Do you know if Zeke has spoken to the league at all about his incident in Las Vegas?
I don't know.
Has the organization spoken to the league regarding that?
I don't know that. I have not myself.
Going back to Donovan Alumba for a minute, how do you decide how much stock to put in something like that, where obviously anytime a guy's getting an interception and making the most of his opportunities, it's good, but maybe not against the first team?
It's all good. Someone asked the question the other day, how do you evaluate offensive linemen in this kind of an environment? You just do. You recognize the situation. You try to put it all into context, but you don't diminish anything good, better, and different. It's an opportunity to see a guy in a particular environment, and you always try to put it into context. Donovan's done a really good job. He's gotten better. He's made plays on the ball. He's made interceptions. You look at each other and say, boy, he's doing better. That's a positive thing. He's had a good off season. Now he's got to take it into training camp, where we do have pads on into the preseason games, and then hopefully into the regular season. So you evaluate players every opportunity you get, whether it's in a walkthrough, in a meeting, on the practice field, in the lunchroom. You're always evaluating guys, and he's certainly made a very good impression.
When a guy has a season that Van Der Esch had last year, is the motivation simply, hey, prove it again?
Oh, I think the motivation is to get better. I mean, he's such a young player. I mean, he did some good things for us last year and made a positive impact on our team. But he has a long way to go. And one of the things we love about him is he's such a driven guy. He wants to be great. His approach is outstanding. Meeting room walkthrough, even though he's been out a lot, he's very engaged with our team right now, and he wants to get better. So in no way when someone comes in and has a lot of success at the outset of their career do you feel like, oh, they got it. He really doesn't have anything, and he'd be the first to tell you that. He's got to get better as a player in every phase.
You don't have pads yet, but Tristan Hill, how's he looked through the OTAs and these two?
He's done a good job. He, too, is going about it the right way, and I think he's getting better. And I think he's demonstrating he's a serious-minded guy, and he wants to come in here and learn. He's got a really good environment to be in. Rod Marinelli, Leon Lett, Andre Gerard's in there. Each of those guys can really help him. And then the examples of some of the veteran players about how to go about it every day. So he's certainly gotten better and better each and every day.
Follow up to Todd's question earlier, DeMarcus Lawrence specifically, how's he done in his rehab and how has he been involved in meetings and those kind of things?
Yeah, he's done great. Obviously, the focus for him is to get the rehab done. So he's spent a lot of time with our training staff and our weight staff to make sure he comes back the right way, and he just handled everything the right way, and all the reports about him are really positive. When those guys are on that schedule, they're not in every meeting or at every part of practice because they're doing their own stuff. But whenever he has a chance to be out there, he's out there encouraging guys, and he's really grown into a really good leader on our team. And guys look to him. The pace he sets, the example he sets for everybody else has been really positive.
How has he grown? Where has he grown, or how has he grown as a leader? What have you seen from him?
Yeah, I just think the consistent example that he sets, and certainly the approach that he takes to be the best player he can be, engaged in meetings, really locked in walkthroughs, and how hard he practices and how hard he plays. That's really where it starts. That's leadership. And then, any guidance and wisdom he can give the younger players, and he embraces those opportunities.
When you were back and watched the team evolve last year, how did the offensive line specifically get better when you made the decision to promote Mark Colombo to that job?
Oh, I just thought we grew as a team throughout the year, a really young team at the outset of the year, and I thought we played young. I didn't think we played great in certain environments. We didn't play consistently well throughout games. We'd win a game, then we'd come back and not play as well as we needed to the next week. So I think each of those things were learning experiences for our whole team. But I thought we grew. I thought we learned from those experiences. And bringing Amari Cooper in here certainly helped. I do think Mark Colombo had a big impact on how our team grew as the year went on. But as much as anything else, I just think we had young players who were having experiences together and they were learning from them. And I thought we became a mentally tough team as the year went on. If you look at how we played in the second half of the season, we won 7 out of 8 down the stretch, and they were all close games. They were all games where we went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and we're able to do some of the things that we didn't do earlier on in the year. And to me, that's a sign of maturity and growth, and a real tribute to some of those younger players who were forced into leadership roles and how they grew and how everybody responded to them. So I thought it was a really good learning experience for our team and for our program.
You said before there's a lot that comes with the dinner when you're the Cowboys quarterback. What's impressed you about Dak these last 3.5 years or whatever, about handling all of that?
Just that, how he handles it all. He handles success, he handles adversity, he handles all the different situations that he's in. He comes to work every day. He's got an incredible spirit. His eyes are always bright. He's got a bounce in his step. His shoulders are back. He's got a smile on his face, regardless of what the results have been. And he's ready to work and ready to set the pace for everybody. He leads by example, completely engaged, completely locked in every situation we put him in. He loves playing ball. He loves the role that he's in. Guys respond to him. So he's been that way right from the start.
What are your early impressions of Robert Quinn and the impact he can have on your defense?
Robert's done a really nice job. We've gone against him a number of times through the years, and we're so impressed, when we played against him. Just a really, really good football player, a great rusher, an elite rusher in this league for a number of years. an underrated run defender, plays hard, he's athletic, he's quick, but he plays with a determination. And that's what we saw from afar competing against him, and that's what we've seen since we've had him. He's a real pro, very serious-minded about his job. I think he's really embracing the environment he's in, getting a chance to work with Rod and Leon and some of the other guys in our team, and he comes to work every day, and he too sets the pace for our team.
As you guys, on what I asked a second ago, when you guys are evaluating quarterbacks, and they're always the guys that get a lot of the attention and are part of that, but is that part of your evaluation process that, hey, how do they handle the job? Not just
Absolutely.
accuracy and are they big enough, are they strong enough, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's every player. You hear me talk a lot about being the right kind of guy. Right kind of guys are driven. They want to be great. They handle success and adversity, and they keep coming, and they have such a determination about them. That's what you want in every player on your football team, and that's why we start with that. We start with what kind of guy is he? How important is football to him? Does he love it? Is he mentally tough? Is he physically tough? That's where it starts before you get to any of the physical stuff with any player on our team. You know, talent matters, but the other stuff matters more. There's a lot of guys who are of equal talent. Why does this guy go to the Hall of Fame and this guy is just another guy, right? In every sport. So we value that strongly, and that's what, you know, being the right kind of guy is. And you can say that's critical for everybody in your team. It's really critical for your quarterback. And the best quarterbacks I've been around have all that other stuff. They certainly have ability, but they have the other stuff. I make the argument, I'll make it till I'm blue in the face and on my deathbed, but if Troy Aikman walked in here, you'd say, wow, I've never seen a guy like that. 6'4", 225, long arms, big hands. You watch him go out and throw, you've never seen a guy throw a ball like that. What makes him great is this and this. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. That's why he's one of the all-time greats. So I had an up-close and personal view with him for 8 years. And you understand what makes an individual player great. It's the other stuff. They have to be talented. I get that. But the other stuff is what differentiates guys. And that's certainly what you want in your quarterback.
How do you see the impact of Dak's leadership with the other guys on the team?
I just think it's really positive. It's been really positive right from the start. He's a natural leader. People follow him. He embraces the role. He just handles situations really, really well. And like you said, guys respond to him. He's got a contagious, infectious personality. And the best quarterbacks, the best leaders I've been around have that.
Is Tony Crawford here today?
Yes, he is. I believe he is. He will not practice today.
Witt was telling us yesterday some of the places he saw Dak's improvement, that like he left, Dak was playing one way, he came back, Dak was doing other things. Were there other places that Witt told you something that you haven't been here, him coming back, that sort of surprised you about his observations?
Not necessarily. Witt's a very astute guy. You know, talk about being the right kind of guy, being driven. He's that as much as anybody I've ever been around. So he loves football. He's very aware of things going on. We haven't had that specific sit down of all his impressions of all the different things that have gone on in the 12 months since he hasn't been here. But he's done a great job integrating himself back into this football team. And he's the same guy that we knew when he left. And again, he wants to be great. He too sets the pace for our team.
Noah Brown, I didn't see him out there yesterday. Maybe I just missed him.
Yeah, Noah had a scope on his knee, so he's not gonna practice today, but he should be back and ready for training camp.
When did he have?
Last week.
With addition to guys like Randall Cobb and Witten coming back, do you guys expect the offense to be more multifaceted and more explosive this year?
Well, I think you're always trying to be multiple on offense. You're always trying to be explosive, and I thought we did a good job as the year went on last year. Amari really helped us, but I also thought a lot of young guys grew up, and I thought we started to play pretty well offensively. Having those guys, two really, really good football players in the lineup for you, will certainly help us do that better.
Thank you.
All right, good to see you guys.
Thanks.